Okay, both are working. Oh, let me put the spoken language back to English US. So we have a decent transcript. And you can feed that transcript to Google Translate or any other translation tool. For the rest, let me go into my environment. Let me pull up my browser and move it into view for you. So the use case that I'm going to demonstrate in this case is we have a customer in the Netherlands that lives in the province Friesland, and just to demonstrate that we can assign two taxes to the same product and purchase through the platform. I want to demonstrate it, and for that I created a tax for Friesland as well. This is an imaginary thing. So we have a customer. Oh, let me go back in there. Let me go to customers. I've got a customer that is just in the Netherlands. Let me show it here. Through the rules, he is put in the tax zone, customers from the Netherlands. And we've got another customer that is called the Fries connection. He is in the Netherlands, but also in Friesland. That means that he is placed by my tax zone assignment rules in the tax zone called customers from NLFR, Netherlands, Friesland. So what I did is I created, going to taxation, I created 3 tax assignment rules. The first one is fairly simple. The first one just says if you are from the Netherlands only, or if you are in this tax zone, which would be that first customer that I showed you, and you buy anything, you are leveraged what we call BTW, VAT in English, value added tax, which is a 9%. So if I take a customer from that scenario, so in this case the Dutch connection, and I'm placing an order for service plan number 6. I've done this so often that I now know the ID of the service plan. And I go to the next item, and I don't need a domain name. I just need to fill out this one. Let's say this is admin. I want to generate, and I click next. In this case, you see that there is a 99-cent tax. I will show you how that tax is set up, because the total is now 12 and we have the number before taxes 1101. Remember when I went in last session that you can check a box that says extract tax from amount. Well, that is how this BTW is set up. The total price, I put in the product, and for this price, it simply means that I have a total before taxes and a tax total that is calculated in a way so that the end amount is $12. If I now would go, that's the first rule. The second, for the second scenario, I have to actually assign both taxes. So what I created is one tax assignment rule that says you have to use the Friesland tax if you are in that group, in that customer class, or sorry, in that tax zone, customers from NLFR. For all products, there is a Friesland tax of 10%. But to make sure that that country tax is also assigned, or that federal tax, let's call it that way, is also assigned, I have to manually create what we call that custom rule that also assigns another tax to the same product set as well as the tax zone. So in this case, we use that BTW, which is actually subtracted from the tax environment, from the original amount. So we know we have an 1101, which is the original price of the product. Then we have 99 cents. And on that one, we calculate the other tax as well, which is the Friesland tax, which is 10%. That one comes on top of everything we already calculated. So if I now go to the Fries connection and I place that same order for service plan number 6 for a year, next, admin, generate, next. We see that the original amount is indeed that 1101, which is everything before taxes. Then we have a 99-cent tax, which is the 9% BTW. And then we have what is it, 120 on the rest of the taxes, which eventually brings me to a total of 1310. So let me show you how I created those taxes, set up those taxes. We have the BTW here that has the extract tax amount from item amount, 9%. And we also have the Friesland tax that does not have that one. Another thing you can do to verify if your rules are working correct is you can test all taxation rules. And this is a funny one because here you can see more how things work. I did not cover that one before. So I'm going to test all taxation rules. I can do a new customer where we just specify this customer is here, or I can use an existing one that I have. And in this case, I want to use that Fries connection to test this with, again, service plan 6 for a year. And in this case, I need to add a resource as well because the price is on the resource. And if I test it, I see that that same amount, the taxable amount is $11.01, the total tax, the total in here. But I see also these two. I see the inclusive tax for the extended price. Included of that tax amount is 99 cents. Then the exclusive tax, 12%. We need to use the 12% to calculate that specific tax is 110. So this together brings me a $2.09 of tax. This is what you can do with the platform. So if you need to leverage more taxes in a specific zone, you have to create rules for each and every one of those taxes that you need to leverage on that scenario. So what questions do you have on this one? If you don't have questions, can you give me a thumbs up? And I will stop this recording so we can add it to the set of recordings that I have from yesterday, from Wednesday. I see a thumbs up there. For the rest, like I said, we don't have city taxes. In our platform, we have never built for it, and we are not going to build for it because now we have the capability of going to Easy Tax or to Vertex. Easy Tax is US, Canada. So in your case, especially since the question came from one of the Brazil people, you have to make sure that you go for Vertex. I'm not sure what it would cost, but if you want to save yourself a lot of work by setting up all those individual tax rules, okay, for every zone we need an extra tax rule that it leverages federal tax and then the tax rule for that state, and maybe something for cities, go for Vertex, pay for it, and they will keep their systems up to date. So if tax rules change, if taxes change, etc., you will know what the taxes are that you have to leverage without having to worry about, did I configure it correct? Okay, I'm going to stop the recording for this one.